Welcome to the Friday edition of Talk Sport on Global Television on this beautiful 27th day of September 2024. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course, so many things happening from the world of sport. And don't forget that this weekend is still coming up loaded again. But then I think some things are happening from other parts of the world, and even in Nigeria, as the Super Falcons gets to have another coach right now. Then talking about Guavon returning again. But then, what about you hearing that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is about going to Manchester United all over again? Is that a good one? Well, many more still coming on your way on Talk Sports this beautiful Friday morning. And of course, joining me in the world of sports today is Darlington Polomi. Good morning, Darlington.
Good morning, Mr. Ramsey.
It's good to have you today.
Good to have you too.
All right, let's quickly get to what is happening right now from the world of sport as I make you understand that 10-man sport cruise in Europa League opener despite some injury scare. Tottenham Hotspur started their Europa League campaign with a 3-0 win against Karabakh despite playing more than 80 minutes with 10 men instead of 11 men. They were playing 10 men. Why? Because Son Heung-min gave the North Londoners an injury scare on Thursday. That was yesterday, and as a matter of fact, early dismissal came in for him, and it was no obstacle for Angelis Pokolog's side, who cruised to victory at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium thanks to goals that came from Bernard Johnson, Pepsa, and Dominic Solanke. However, the sight of South Korea forward Son being forced off in the 70th minute, oh my God, will be considered for the coach who cannot afford to be without his talisman captain for a longer period with a healthy Son. The Europa League could offer at least a path to silverware for the coach who boasts that he will always enjoy success in his second season as he seeks to end a Tottenham trophy drought dating back to 2008. Looking at that game, and of course the injury of Son. Well, I don't know, but the coach is so happy, he celebrated it. But then, do you think Tottenham Hotspur have actually done well? Because 3-0, some persons will say, well, we're talking about a club that is not well known here, and of course, you know the pedigree of Tottenham Hotspur. So, winning that game yesterday, is it something to celebrate about?
And they should celebrate it. They should celebrate it because now they've lost a talisman in Heung-min Son, and it's going to be difficult for them during the period where he's injured. Remember, he's one of the most important figures in their dressing room, and he's their captain. Losing your captain in a match like this, it's terrible for everybody. But they won yesterday, and that was good for them. That was very good for them.
All right, as a matter of fact, let's quickly look at other things that are happening from the world of sport this beautiful day. What else do you think is happening from the world of sport? Roma also denied troubled Atletico Bilbao 3 points as the troubled Roma were held to a 1-1 draw by Atletico Bilbao after conceding a later equalizer at the Stadio Olimpiaco. Roma fans were furious with the club's recent decision to sack boss Daniel De Rossi, an iconic figure during his time as a Giallorossi player just 4 games into the season, given the unenviable task of replacing De Rossi. Ivan Juric inspired a 3-0 win against Udinese last weekend, but he was denied a second successive victory. Well, as a matter of fact, apart from that, other games were also played yesterday when Jose Mourinho's Fenerbahce started their bid to win the tournament for the third time in his career. Talking about Jose Mourinho right now, moving from where he was, the club he was, and going to where he is right now. And of course, coming into this league, his expectation is that he's gonna be clinching the league again, third time in his career, and it was either best of return from injury for Bright Osai Samuel, as he was sent off. You know, he's been away for a while, and now he's coming in, and he's got a second yellow card that actually got him out of the game. And Fenerbahce's 2-1 win against Union SG in their first game in the Europa League yesterday. Osai had been out since August after suffering injury, which saw him miss the last international break with the Super Eagles. He didn't play for the Super Eagles because of that injury. Mourinho, who won the competition with Manchester United, and Porto watch as Kagla put Fenerbahce ahead in the 26th minute before Christian 82nd minute own goal double the lead. Mourinho is one coach that is being respected so well for what he do, but it's like he's not held at a very high esteem anymore like it is before. What do you think about Mourinho and the game that was played generally?
Jose Mourinho, it's not easy. There's never been a season in Mourinho's timeline in football where he played and he had his first season was very, very good, except from that his first Chelsea season on 2004 season when he won the league back-to-back with Chelsea. But if you know Jose Mourinho, if you know Jose Mourinho well, you know that he's somebody that after his first season, after assembling the squad that he wants, that's when he actually do the magic that he does. Trust me, he's going to win the league very soon in that Turkish league. Forget the loss that he lost to Galatasaray the last week and the draw that he drew just now. He's trying to assemble his team. The season is just starting. We know Jose Mourinho. He's a champion. He's champion in every club that he has played for. He has coached him, except for Tottenham. You get, so I see Jose Mourinho dominating that league very soon.
Jose Mourinho dominating that league very soon, according to Polomi right here. Let's go on a quick break. After this break, we'll return back and we'll bring you more details from what is happening in Ajax and still from other leagues around the world. We'll return after this break. From that break, I just took a little break so that I can go find out what is happening in Roma, because the sack of Belotti is still bringing up a lot of uproar, as some persons are still protesting and they are saying, hey, come on, you need to bring him back. But then he's been sacked, and I don't know what the people are saying. This is the fans. You know, some people are fans, some people are players, some people are coaches, and some people are the real CEOs, the ones that make things happen. But then, talk about this right now. Talk about the club, talk about the coach, the players, and the people who make things happen, the CEO, and the fans who have upper hand. The coach has gone, but the protest in Roma right now is something else. I don't know, Danity, you may want to say something about it. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Football is tradition in Italy. People fail to understand that fact. In Italy, football is tradition. You get? So sacking an icon like De Rossi is going to cause uproar. You get? He came after Jose Mourinho and he stabled the ship even after Jose Mourinho left. The Generosity team, the Roma team, they're doing very well. So in just 4 games into the league, they've been fumbling, and now you just sack him like that without even giving him time to assemble his squad properly for the new season. You just sack him. Fans in Italy are complaining because this guy is a fan favorite. He stayed in that club for, let's say, 21 years.
Wow.
Yes, he was a boyhood. He was from the academy. A boyhood. He played with the team, captained the team at an old age before he finally left. As a matter of fact, in his time in that team, he was the most important figure in that team. As a matter of fact, he's a World Cup winner with the Italian national team, 2006. So you can see that the Italian fans are angry because football, like I said earlier, is the tradition in Italy. You know, people don't just joke with things like that. You don't sack somebody like that, an arrowhead, a figurehead in Roma. But
then maybe he has stayed for that long. Why not go do something else? Is it for life?
No, come on. He just came. When he left the team, he came back to help the team when Jose Mourinho was having issues with Roma board. When they sacked Jose Mourinho, when he came back, he steadied the ship. You see, last season Roma did very well in his time. No, this season is just starting. 4 games into the league and you're sacking him. What do you expect the Italian fans to see? They are shouting, they are complaining.
Yeah, the protest is so much, the protest is massive, and the fans are shouting and saying so many things that they want him back again. But let's see if he's going to be returning back into the fold anytime soon. And now let's move to other things happening from the sport as Ajax trash Besiktas. First of all, thanks to Micah Goats, brace, and it also brace he got, and goes from Kian Feld Jim, and of course Kenneth Taylor. They're moving away from there. Olympiacos in their own side. The UEFA Conference League winner last season were beaten 2-0 at Lyon. Then moving away from there, we'll go to other things happening. We're talking about Italy because we just talked about Roma right now, but it will interest you to know that Napoli are actually ready to contend for trophies again after a poor last season. Forward Giacomo Raspadori said after a 5-0 demolition of Serie B side Palermo on Thursday yesterday, that set up a Coppa Italian last 16 tie against Lazio. The 2023 Serie A champions finished 10th last term and of course crashed out of the Coppa and Champions League at the last 16th stage. Napoli's coach talking about Antonio Conte already praised his side's professionalism. And some persons will say, if you want to praise your side's professionalism, it shouldn't be in a game like this. But then a win is a win. 3 points is 3 points, and of course talking about Lazio and of course the game that was won yesterday. Do you think Conte had to rejoice and praise his team over this? This is what we're saying. So let me get to my analyst in the studio right now. Winning that game, did you see it coming? And the celebration from the coach Conte, do you see it worth it?
Yeah, it's worth it. He got what he wanted. He got Lukaku. He got what he wanted, and he won. And we expecting him to praise his players. It's a morale booster for them. They will use that morale now too, because Conte hardly praise players. You know, Conte is a hard person. He hardly praise people. So when he does something like this, you can see that it's working. He's trying to manage his team and trying to work with them and boost their morale. It's a morale booster for them. They are going to go fight the league this season. Trust me.
But then looking at Antonio Conte's performance. So far, you're already praising him that he's actually a game changer, and not just that, he is a morale booster, which is what most of the players actually needed. But then saying his players actually put up professionalism, some persons have actually criticized that. But then Darlington is of a different opinion. And moving on from the world of sports this morning, Al Hazard snatch Atletico fortunate victory, talking about Alvarez and Atletico's game. The victory came at Celta as Julian struck a 90-minute winner for Atletico Madrid to snatch them a 1-0 victory at Celta Vigo yesterday in the La Liga. Then just talk about it. Let's just go down a little bit and let you know that even a single point would have flattered Diego Simeone's side, but they took all three when the Argentina international finished very well. I'm talking about Antonio Griezmann. Of course, you know the pedigree of Antonio Griezmann, the world class. He's actually punctuating it that he's a world class, and his cross at the back post Celta had the better chance as Atletico thought lack a spark ahead of the derby clash. The derby is coming up. I'm going to talk about the derby much later against a Spanish champion Real Madrid, and that derby is going to be coming up on Sunday. But then let me also let you know, talking about the Clasico first, because it's very important. And you know, when we're talking about this kind of Clasico coming as a derby, you know what it means. And the new arrivals will also boost this game, because the both sides, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, have got some very fantastic players that actually came into the fold. But the new rivals now, who will light up their first as a Clasico this season. This is going to be their first Clasico, and they will do everything to prove a point. Even though some persons are complaining that since Kylian Mbappe arrived, Real Madrid, they've not really seen the things they were expecting from him. But I tell people it's not late yet, but some persons are already complaining. Then let's talk about the derby proper now. Remember that the Madrid derby between Atletico de Madrid and of course Real Madrid is always a big game. You know, and I know about that. But as a matter of fact, their match day 8 duel will be 2. It's going to be a cracker too, especially as several star players were signed by these clubs during the summer transfer window. If you could remember, the Madrid derby has been, of course, graced by so many superstars in the past who play over the years, with several of world football greatest players having featured in the previous 174 La Liga EA Sports meeting between Atletico de Madrid and Real Madrid, and that's part of the reason why this derby is very, very important. Let me let you know today, Darlington and all our fans out there, that the likes of Ronaldo, Sergio Ramos, Raúl, Karim Benzema played for Madrid. Real Coke, Fernando Torres, etc. also played for Atletico de Madrid. But now in 2024-2025, there are several fresh faces, like I said earlier, looking forward to make a name for themselves in this fixture that is coming up. And as I speak with you right now, Darlington and my fans out there, the Atletico de Madrid ranks, they will now have Julian Alvarez as a weapon that can be used up front after the Argentine goal scorer arrived from Manchester City in the summer. So too is Alexander Sørloth, while Atletico, Robin Leonard and of course Conor Gallagher are all looking forward to this derby. Man, this is a derby. This is a derby. This is what we call a clash of the titans. Looking at these new players that are coming in, then the old players who also want to make a name, not to allow the newcomers outshine them. Darlington, what do you think? What are you feeling about this Clasico, and what would you have to say about the game, the derby, how it has been, the new players that are coming in, and the old players, everything put together?
Yeah. It's two things. It's two things actually. It's the Atletico Madrid game and the Real Madrid team. The Real Madrid team, they have not become a unit yet. So I'm still letting people understand that this team has not become a unit yet. As a matter of fact, the strike force between Rodrigo, Vinicius and Mbappe, they've not actually become a unit. But this Atletico team, you've known Simeone, he knows how to organize the squad. You know, he plays Julian Alvarez and Solot as his up front man. He plays Griezmann as the back of the striker. And Griezmann, like I said, is a world-class player, he's a world-class playmaker. So that team is actually a unit, and they have a very good midfield balance. So I'm looking forward for Atletico Madrid to beat Real Madrid that day. I'm telling people that team is a unit. Madrid has not yet become a unit, but I trust Don Carlo. Don Carlo is going to do magic. But if you want to look from paper, if you want to look at how it is, how they really are, Atletico Madrid have a better chance of playing a very good football that day. They will surprise Real Madrid.
But then, looking at the likes of Kylian Mbappe, people have said so many things about Kylian Mbappe. What do you think about Kylian Mbappe? Have you really felt his impact in Real Madrid so far? You said Real Madrid are still trying to pull themselves together. They are not in some form of strong unity yet. So what do you think of Kylian Mbappe? Could that be the reason why Kylian Mbappe is not finding his mojo yet? Or generally, what do you think of Kylian Mbappe? Will he actually meet up with the demands? Because the going of Ronaldo and the exit of Ronaldo and the coming in of Kylian Mbappe was supposed to be a balance, sort of. So what do you think? Do you see him equaling Ronaldo's?
It's supposed to be a transition, but you see, Kylian Mbappe, if you understand football very well, Kylian Mbappe drifts wider in the gameplay, and he allows the center space, the half spaces to be open. So Madrid, they always have issues when they're trying to break opposition line in the open space, in the middle of the field. So, and Kylian Mbappe always drifts wide. It takes individual brilliance of the likes of Rodrigo and Vinicius to actually make things happen. If you watch their previous game, you see that Rodrigo and Vinicius, they're the one making things happen in that team. So they are not yet a unit. As much as I want them to succeed, as much as I want Kylian Mbappe to succeed, like I know he will definitely succeed, I'm still waiting for that team to become units. They've been winning so far. They won 4-1 last game, I think. So I think they will play well. But Atletico Madrid, like I said, they are already a unit. Simeone has actually assembled the squad in a very perfect manner to play against any team in the league.
Alright, also coming on the way this moment, Ten Hag says lack of goals for Manchester United is a big problem. He didn't just say it's a big problem, he said it's the biggest problem right now for Manchester United. He said that in a conference, according to the Manchester United manager, Erik ten Hag, he has cited a lack of goals as the major factor behind the English Giants' faltering start to the season. This time, and he said, well, there was a frustration for the Dutchman that is these guys are not getting goals, and if anything happened, people calls for the head of the coach most times, and that's why the Dutchman is actually crying out. Now in this third campaign at Old Trafford, Ten Hag's current side had 18 attempts on goal against 20 on Wednesday, having failed to score with 15 shots at Selhurst Park. And of course, Ten Hag is now looking for United to rediscover their ruthless streak against Tottenham Hotspur at Old Trafford on Sunday. And the 54-year-old Ten Hag asked a pre-match press conference. He was asked, that was on Thursday yesterday, after their game, he was asked, and what he said is that United's biggest issue at the moment, according to him, is not scoring goals. Not scoring goals enough is a problem, and that's the problem, and that is the key area, according to Erik ten Hag. Do you think Erik ten Hag is crying too much because maybe they are going to face Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday and he's trying to make excuses? Is that what it means? Or you feel Manchester United is a no-no as far as this season is concerned?
Okay, first off is, for a team that understands they have problems last season, for a team that understands that in the transfer market, they should have done better. They had a very poor transfer window. They went to get Joshua Zirkzee, who is not an out-and-out centre forward. When you fully aware that last season, you needed an out-and-out centre forward. You went to sign a ball-playing striker. and to play in the Premier League, and you know fully well last season that you had goal issue. You have brought in an out-and-out striker. Everybody is complaining. Now you have that guy. He's a good player, but he's not a good finisher. Just look at Man City, for example. Do you think if Man City wanted somebody that is going to play the system, would they sign Haaland? No. Haaland does not play. His hold-up play is not very good, but he's a finisher, and that is what we need. That is what Manchester United needed, actually. They want to get Joshua Zirkzee, good with the ball, but he's poor at finishing. Very poor at finishing. He has never done 20 goals per season before, and you are carrying to a top league like the Premier League. Premier League is a top league. Most coaches fail to understand that. You can't just bring your own tactics and come and dominate Premier League overnight. Guardiola said it took Guardiola 1 year before he came and started dominating Premier League. He had to understand the league. He had to understand that he needed a finisher to win the Champions League. When he got Haaland, he won the Champions League. You want goals. You bring an out-and-out goal scorer that is going to give you goals. Always. You have Gyökeres in the transfer market. You have Victor Osimhen in the transfer market. You just stalled and you went to get somebody that actually thought, okay, because he's a Dutchman. I don't know, maybe that's his reasoning. But I tell you for free, Manchester United are not going to do well if they don't have an out-and-out goal scorer.
But then, right now, as it is right now, don't you think it's late because the transfer window is ended? And the transfer window has ended, of course, and the players that they have right now, what do you think he needs to do to start getting goals? Because he's crying out right now and he's bitter about it.
Maybe he needs to tweak his formation. For me, maybe he needs to tweak his formation. Maybe I feel maybe he should shift Garnacho, because Garnacho has been showing promises for the past 2 seasons now. Maybe you should shift Garnacho off front, and maybe you should shift Rashford off front with Garnacho. Then play that Zirkzee back of them. Then Bruno Fernandes and Zirkzee can do the dirty work and give it to those people and score goals. Or maybe when Højlund come back from injury, he plays Højlund. But I think Højlund is overrated. You get me? So Manchester United this season, I pray that they have goals, because now they don't have an out-and-out goal scorer. They are not going to get goals.
Alright, now they don't have an outright goal scorer. They wouldn't have goals. That's coming from my guest this morning. And as a matter of fact, let's get some few stories from other sports right now. Because this statement is coming from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where he said he would like to go back and coach Manchester City again. Manchester United, I beg your pardon, again. And I was just wondering, because a legendary Manchester United striker Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has admitted he would love to one day return to the Red Devils as a manager. United had won just one of their past 7 Premier League matches by the time they parted ways. With Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in November. That was November 2021. Yeah. If you remember very well, with the side 7th in the table and 12 points behind the leaders. And as a matter of fact, the 51-year-old has yet to return to another management since he left. He has not gotten to anywhere to manage any team since he left. Though vacancy, he has had vacancies, but he knows the reason why. He decided to just stay put, probably because he would want to return back to Manchester United someday. I don't know, but I'm just trying to insinuate. As a matter of fact, he has been linked with numerous vacancies as he contemplates his next step. Solskjaer didn't hide away the fact that he would love to at least get reunited one day again with Manchester United, though he fully respects the Erik ten Hag coaching tactics, and of course he said Erik is doing a great job. He's in charge at the moment. But then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Erik ten Hag, who do you think is better for Manchester United? Because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was there before he left, and we remember the kind of things that happened. Because sometimes the fans and some persons come out from some corner to like, hey, he must go. And look at what is happening in Roma right now. People protesting that the coach will return. In this case, Erik ten Hag and of course Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who do you think should be preferable for Manchester United?
You've given Solskjaer the job before. They've given Solskjaer the job before. He didn't deliver. That's why he left. Erik ten Hag is the owner of the job right now. But I think he needs to tweak his system a little bit so that to accommodate him in the Premier League. Premier League is a different ballgame. This is not Eredivisie where he dominated with Ajax. This is the Premier League. You get it? So He needs to understand the rigorous nature of the Premier League, how fast it is, how disciplined these players are, how you can see if players come to the Premier League, you can see the level of competitions with the people in Premier League. He needs to tweak his system a little bit. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has had his time. If he had done it, he would have still been in the dugout. But you have a new man in charge. You have to back the man and actually let him succeed.
Alright, you have to back the man and help him succeed, because success is what every club is looking for. Let's go on a quick break. After this break we'll return and we'll hit the road in the water sport. Remember, it is the DGIF edition of TalkSport on Global Television. We will return after this break. Welcome back from that break. Talk Sports, the live on your screen from Global Television, on Global Television. And of course, you deserve to know what's happening from the world of sport. If you don't love sports, man, I don't know, but then you know what it means, because sport and the energy that comes from the world of sport, the enthusiasm, you know how it means. It sets you on track for the activities for the day. That's me anyway. You may think differently, but then let's get back home now to the home front and see what is happening from the world of sport. I think the first story that I have here is the fact that NFF have confirmed Eguavoen that he will continue with the Super Eagles role, and the executive committee of Nigeria Football Federation yesterday approved the recommendation of its technical and development subcommittee for the Federation's technical director, Coach Austin Eguavoen, to continue in his role as head coach of the Super Eagles. You know, a lot of people were like, hey, come on, he has done well, let him continue. But he said, well, the contract I had was just for these 2 games. Now we are done with Libya and the Republic. So what do I have to do next is to step back. But right now, NFF is bringing him back again. But the question is how long is he going to be in the system? Eguavoen will lead the Super Eagles to the 2025 African Cup of Nations qualifying matches against Libya, and that's going to be next month. And the 58-year-old is not 54. I'm like trying to reduce his age, not football age right here. And the 58-year-old in temporary charge of the squad. As I speak, he had led 3 times previously before now, and he's the 3-time African champions to a 3-0 defeat over Benin Republic, like I said earlier, and scoreless, and of course in a draw game with Rwanda in match day 1 and 2 earlier this month. But as I speak right now, Eguavoen is returning back to the world of coaching right now. Well, remember when our coach said he was not doing again and he left, they said, okay, Finidi George, come in, wear the shoe. Finidi George wore the shoe and we don't know what transpired. He said, I'm not doing anymore, it's not working well for me. Then Labadia came, and before he even assumed office, he labaded out of the office. That's my own English anyway. He got out of the office and said he's no longer doing again, that some things are not going well with him. Then now, finally, they said, okay, Eguavoen should just take care of these guys for these 2 matches, Benin Republic, and of course the game against Rwanda. Right now, they said he should come in again for our game against, of course, Libya, and that game is coming very, very hot, very, very hot. Now, what do you think? Should he just be allowed to coach? Because sometimes foreign coach issue, local coach issue here and there, And right now, Eguavoen has been asked, so far, has Eguavoen performed badly? Tell us if he has performed badly or not, and why you think so.
Eguavoen has not performed badly. You get as much as I would like him to continue, I actually want Nigeria to have a top coach. The crop of players coming up from our team right now, they are exceptional and they are world class. As a matter of fact, if you check the latest Ballon d'Or ranking, you can see Ademola Lookman up there. As a matter of fact, he's the best player in this team in this year. Serie A is one of the top 5 league in the world, and we have top players. As much as I want him to come in as the permanent coach, I actually want somebody of great technical know-how to run a football team that can be cohesive. You get me? So he did well in his last 2 matches. He didn't concede a goal, 0-0 and 3-0. Yeah, that's what he did. He's trying to bring in Tosin Aderabioyo, that new Chelsea guy, to the fold, trying to bring in some players that have dual nationality to come and pledge allegiance to the Nigerian national team. So if he comes back, maybe let's see how it goes. Let's see. But I'm not in full support of Eguavoen. Not really, because I don't think he has that technical know-how. He might understand how to manage team, he might understand how to become a big voice in the dressing room, but you see the technique in football right now has changed. You know, if you watch the games in 2008 and the games in 2024, it's different. Before, you used to see players not playing from the back. Nowadays, teams that dominate play from the back. They know how to build from the back and press very high up the pitch and stuff like that. And these players that we have in this current team, they played with good coaches from Europe that are doing all those things. So I think somebody that has the technical know-how, it might be a local coach, I don't care. We have Nigerian coaches in Europe doing very well. It might be a local coach, maybe a foreign coach, but a coach that has technical abilities to actually make these players perform to their full potential. That is what Nigeria need.
That's good. You can also drop your own comment. Just get on the YouTube channel, drop your comment for us. What do you think if Eguavoen should be allowed to continue as the coach of the Super Eagles, or you feel like Darlington has said there are still some things that he needs to harmonize the skills and the talent of the foreign-based players? And of course, if we have somebody at the top, even if the person is working, if Eguavoen is working with the person, it will still be fine according to Darlington Polomo right here. Let's get to the Super Falcons where Justin Madudu will take charge of the Super Falcons pending the appointment of substantive head coach. The Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, announced yesterday that NFF took the decision following the recommendation of its technical and development subcommittee for handler of the team, Randy Waldrom's resignation from the post this month. Madudu, I beg your pardon, was one of the assistants to the former Jamaican coach, and he will work together with other technical crew members. The Super Falcons' next big engagement is the Women African Cup of Nations final taking place in Morocco in the summer of next year. But then, as it is right now, Waldrom is gone. He said the wife got some issues, some health challenges, and he gotta go. He's gone at the moment, and of course, the team have a very big game coming ahead of them. So bringing Madudu in, do you see it as a welcome development, or you still want to have the same opinion like you had against Eguavoen?
No. The Super Falcons team, they have a very good team. So bringing this man, this Madudu, this guy, it's a welcome addition, because the team has not been stable for a while. Waldrom has done a nice job, but we actually need a stable coach in the Super Falcons. I think there was a time he had issues, then he left, then he came back again. Waldrom, they had issues with the NFF that time, then he left and he came back again. So I think having a permanent coach for the Super Falcons is a welcome bonus.
Alright, having a permanent coach for the Super Falcons is a welcome bonus. But then let's look at the unity in the Super Eagles right now. The crop of players that we have right now, because you were referring to them and you said they are professional than they were, and you made a comparison of the game in 2008 and what is happening now. Looking at the players, what can you say? Who are the key players that no matter what happened, they need to be in the first 11 for the Super Eagles?
Okay, players such as Boniface, Victor Boniface, players such as Victor Osimhen, players such as Lookman. Then there are some players that they should be invited to the team, like Tosin Adarabioyo from Chelsea, stuff like that. You need those kind of players to form a unit. You should play with their strengths and form a unit with them. Boniface is doing very well. As a matter of fact, he's the leading marksman in Bayer Leverkusen. If not for his injury in last year, I think he would have done exceptionally well for himself. He had about 20-something goals contribution in the last season for Bayer Leverkusen when they went unbeaten in the league. He was one of their best players. Before the injury, he was their best player.
Alright, before the injury was their best player, that's that, alright. Let's quickly go to what is happening over the weekend. The weekend is so pregnant, and I know a lot of people long for the weekend to come. Maybe because of the Premier League, the EPL is very competitive. I've seen people, especially Nigerians, going as far as maybe taking one or two to make sure they get some winning in some clubs. I have heard people say, I want to win this game, I want to win this game, and I begin to wonder, is your name Arsenal? Is your name Manchester City? Is your name Tottenham Hotspur? Is your name Real Madrid? That is how passionate Nigerians are about this round-leg game. Let's quickly get to the fixture from the Premier League this morning. It's going to be happening tomorrow. My time is running very fast. Let me quickly let you know that the game for tomorrow, any game that is 12 noon, you know that game is hot, and tomorrow is going to be coming between Newcastle United will be hosting Manchester City tomorrow. My God, good game. So what do you have to say about that game?
Two good coaches, Howie and Guardiola.
Yeah,
student and master. So it's a good game. It's a very good game. Like, it's going to be open, fluid, attacking. You can see lots of actions in the game. I expect goals in that game also. I expect Alan to score also.
Alan should get a goal. Alright, so in other words, giving that game to Manchester City?
Yeah, but they are going to be fireworks.
So what if I force you to give me a scoreline?
4-1.
A prediction. 4-1? That's massive. You're finished Newcastle. Newcastle can't play for that game. And they're coming
to play. But you see that Man City team, Alan is an X factor. Without him against the Watford in the last match, they won 2-1. Without him, you can see that the attack is void. But when you see Alan in the team, you know that something is going to happen. That guy has 11 goals.
But why don't you say 4-1? No, I was like, hey, come on. That's too much. 4-1. 4-1 coming from my guest in the studio right here. Well, let's move away from there and bring you the fixture for the games that will be played tomorrow at 3 p.m. We have Chelsea hosting Brighton. Then we also have Brentford and West Ham United at 3 p.m. Then Arsenal already, Leicester City will be traveling to Arsenal at the same time. These are strategic games that will be coming tomorrow. Then we also have Everton hosting Crystal Palace tomorrow. These games, which ones do you want to talk about? These games going on tomorrow in England at 3 p.m.
I think the Chelsea game, you didn't mention it.
I mentioned Chelsea. Chelsea is going to be playing with Brighton. Yeah, I mentioned it. That was the first game.
It's going to be the one to look out for. You're going to see expansive, fluid football from that Brighton new manager. That guy has been doing very well for Brighton. And you see Enzo Maresca, new Chelsea manager. Those people are expansive. They are playing possession based. You're going to watch a very good entertainment. If you have somebody that has not watched football before, that you want to introduce to sports, to football, tell him to go and watch an expansive game between two exciting coaches.
And that's going to be Chelsea and Brighton's game. Please, I am being made to understand right now that I should tell you, all our fans, that tomorrow is going to be fantastic. The game between Chelsea and, of course, Brighton. But then, who are you giving it to? Chelsea or Brighton? That's left to you. Just communicate. Talk to us, okay? And let's know what you feel about that game going on tomorrow. But then, apart from that game, we have other games going on. The Brentford, West Ham, Arsenal. A lot of people have said so many things about Arsenal. Arsenal and Leicester City tomorrow. Same time, 3 p.m.
It's going to be at the Emirates. Expect Arsenal to win.
Arsenal, wow! Expect Arsenal to win. I'm happy.
They're doing very well.
But then, one thing with Arsenal, a lot of people have complained, including their own fans, that from the beginning of the season, they are very agile. They do well. They do this initial grab, but then they keep escorting people to the peak of the league and they never got it. What do you think about that?
Inconsistency.
So why are they inconsistent? Arsenal, why are they inconsistent? Tell me.
This question is being asked with every season, any season that comes up, you ask people, what is going on with Arsenal? Why is it that when it's so, like, almost near social syndrome?
Oh my God! Maybe they need to start praying and fasting. Because near social syndrome may be. Maybe they first need to start praying and fasting.
If I'm an Arsenal fan, I swear to God, I will go Emirates Stadium, go and do something about it, because you cannot be always, all the time, almost close.
Look at last season. Last two seasons, a lot of people gave it to them.
There was a time I gave them the league last season, like 9 matches prior to the ending of the fixtures. I gave them the league. Okay, they have won. Liverpool have fumbled. There was a time Liverpool fumbled, and they've won the league. Okay, they've won.
But at the end of the day,
they lost to Aston Villa, lost to some middle clubs, and they just finished the league.
And they are losing, the kind of clubs they lose to sometimes. It's so amazing. It baffles.
Yeah, it's baffling.
The last game for tomorrow, we have one for 12:30, which is a top-notch game. Then we also have another one tomorrow, which is going to be coming at 5:30. Yeah. That's the game between Wolves and Liverpool. Well, Liverpool have been formidable. Somebody will tell you that, this season they are counting on Liverpool is going to go far. Liverpool will do well. They won't behave like Chelsea and Man U. Chelsea and Man U fans, na joke. But then, as it is, looking at this game tomorrow, West Ham and Liverpool, how is that game going to be?
One of the most underrated players in the league this season is Luis Diaz. I tell people every day, this season is concerned, one of the most underrated players, Luis Diaz. Expect him to do things this season. He has scored 5 goals this season already. 5 goals in 5 games. Do you get? So expect him to do things this season. I'm expecting him to hold the mantle, because obviously Salah might leave next season. The chances
Mo Salah was playing a mind game that he may want to still renew his contract in Liverpool. But some person said it's a mind game. Maybe he's trying to give himself value.
He will leave definitely. You can't have that kind of money coming to your bank account as a final paycheck after all your work in Saudi Arabia and still come home now. If not you no go.
Alright, everyone is running to Saudi Arabia right now. I just want to ask me if they are going for the money or whether they still want to advance their career. Well, this is Talk Sport. My time is already up. I'm rolling my sleeves right now, and I'm also trying to unlace my boot right now, because we have come to the end of the game today. But then, as it is, just follow the fixtures, and I want to say a very big thank you to you, Darlington Poloni. You have to cancel so many things to be here today, to be part of the fun and to be part of sport. Man, if you're not part of sport, man, you get as you be. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. The sport lovers know what I'm talking about. Sport Ignite, Sports Day and Night. We'll come on the way again, and that's going to be another wonderful time on Monday as we bring you the result of the actions over the weekend. My name is Ramsey Enoch. Bye-bye for now.